So hi guys, welcome back to a blog once again. So in this video we are going to learn about the general structure of C program. So have you ever wondered why every C program looks almost the same with starting with the include, main, curly braces and return zero. Almost every program looks same. That's because every C program follow a particular structure. So in this video we will break down the structure of C program into simple parts. First G, the header files. I've written a simple program here. So let's go with this. So this is called header. The main function, as I explained earlier the previous video, the printf, the return. So what it is basically, I will explain everything in this video. So you understand what's really happening behind the scene, right? So first I'll start writing here. So let's move with the headers, right? So I'll write comment headers so that it will be clear. So I'll write here what it does. So first part is include. I'll separate these into two parts so that you can understand. So include, what it does basically, it's a header file and we are declaring as a global variable, and it also, what it does, it tells the compiler to include library. So any kind of library, if you want to include in your code, you have to use hashtag include. Then stdoi.h. This tells the basically, it it tells you the include, it tells the compiler to include the most famous library, most famous input output library, right? So this is our header part. This part we have completed. If you remove include and try to use printf, with the compiler will throw an error, because basically hashtag include tells the compiler to include the most famous library studio.h, basically input output library. It doesn't know what does printf means, what does main means. So you have to include the studio.h first, with using the include function, include header basically. The main function, I'll come to main function, close it. So the main function is basically this part, right? So I'll write it here. I'll remove this one and then I'll write it here again, right? And I'll comment it in the main function, right? So what it does, so the main function is this part basically. It's a special function where program basically start the actual execution of program start from here. Curly braces is basically, it's define the starting point of the program and ending point of the program, with the closing, with the starting parenthesis and closing parenthesis. So even some compiler allow void main, but according to the C standard, int main is preferred because it's clearly specify the function return an integer. Then comes to the printf, printf is like basically just to print the output to the user, to show the whatever you want to print to the print the message to the user, you can print it. Like, then come to the returns. So return is basically usually return 0, means program executed successfully. But if you use void main, means the function does not return anything. Some compiler accept this, but it's not, but that is not the standard one. So if you're returning 0 using int main, it means your program and program successfully run. Even now, this is the main int main function, right? You can define your own function using, like, suppose I'll explain. Like, I've created this function void greet, right? This is the function. I've created the I've started the closing parenthesis and standing parenthesis and right closing parenthesis. Then printf. So in printf, type it again and write hello world again with hello world again from greet, right? And then forward slash n. Then this one. And what we can do, we can call this function. I'll show you inside this. So you can write it here or you can write it before main function. Usually it prefers if you can write before main function, that would be great. So what you will do, you'll just compile it. So we know that gcc hello.c, that is a file name minus o hello. Basically that converts our file into compile language. So it's now run and then we have to run the file. So what you have to do, we'll do this c. So the both function was the hello world, world hello, you can see it here, and then greet function that we have called this function we called inside the greet inside the main function. Now we can see the hello world again from greet, right? So every C programming has a structure, header file at the top, the main function has the entry point and return type that indicates the program execution status. You can also add global declaration and your own function for more complex programming. You can create any kind of function. If you want to write bring me that pen, you can create a bring me that function, and then that function will basically bring the pen and give it to you. So in the next video, we'll start exploring the building block of C, variable, constant and data types. That's where we'll be begin storing and manipulating the data. We'll start playing with the data. So if you like the video, please subscribe, hit likes and do comments. Thank you.